Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hedera Foundation as they have just released some massive news in partnership with Blackrock. Now they have just tokenized their treasury market fund on the HBAR network, which is massive news, and we're going to be going over why that is in this video. Now, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And also, if you're interested, there is links underneath the video to different exchanges if you're interested in supporting the channel. And so let's go ahead and check out a video here from Larry Fink regarding real-world assets and the tokenization of funds.
We believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation.
And so as you can see there, Larry Fink is very bullish on real-world assets and the tokenization of assets. And so we have continued to see that. We have continued to see him mentioning this after the Bitcoin ETF was approved in January, and so this is going to be a huge step for cryptocurrencies and blockchain moving forward. There's going to be a huge push on this narrative, and this is something that I'm continually keeping an eye on. And so if you're interested in this type of content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to be kept up to date on this information. And so let's go ahead and take a look at why this is so important and what this means for cryptocurrencies. And so as I mentioned here, the treasury fund here was tokenized on the HBAR network. And if we look at the size of this fund, it is absolutely massive, right? The net assets of this fund is $22 billion. Now, this is not 22 million, this is $22 billion. This is absolutely huge. If we look at the market cap of Hedera here, we can see that the current market cap of HBAR is 5.9 billion. And so this is still relatively small in comparison to the fund that was just tokenized, right? And so this is still up substantially. It is up 84% in the last 24 hours after the news was released from Blackrock that their fund is going to be tokenized by Hedera. And so this is massive news. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some more information on HBAR here. Let's take a look at the number of transactions. Right, and so right now they're producing above 2,000 transactions per second, which is very impressive. And the total number of transactions so far is 48 billion. And so let's take a look at what this means in comparison to Bitcoin, right? The biggest cryptocurrency out there, everyone knows what it is. Let's look at how many transactions have been completed on Bitcoin since its inception, right? We're still under 1 billion transactions. 992 million transactions have been completed on the Bitcoin network. However, if we look at Hedera here, which has not been around even close to as long as Bitcoin, we're talking 48 billion transactions, right? And so this is absolutely massive. They're completing a ton of transactions, and the reason for this could be that they're working with a lot of institutions, or they're working with these huge investment firms like Blackrock. They also released some other news here that they're also working with another firm as well with tokenization. And so we can see here that the Hedera Governing Council, ABDN, the UK's largest active wealth manager, tokenized its flagship Lux Sterling MMF on the network as well. And so this is, again, massive news. They are also tokenizing one of their funds as well. And so this was released shortly after they announced that they were tokenizing BlackRock's fund as well. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the total assets under management for ABDN here. We can see that they're almost $500 billion of the Great Britain pound. And so this is massive, right? I mean, it's one of the largest active wealth managers in the UK. And so they're working with Blackrock, which is one of the largest active wealth managers in the United States. Now they're working with one of the largest UK active wealth managers as well. And so we're just starting to see a trend, and I think this is only going to continue. We're going to see more and more funds start becoming tokenized on the HBAR network. So definitely something to be keeping in mind. Now, if I take a look at their website here, they're also now stating that they are focusing on real-world asset tokenization for stablecoins. And so HBAR has definitely been continuing to build. You have not heard a lot about them. However, every time I look at their website, I'm always very impressed. And so we can see they have a ton of different people they are working with, a ton of different organizations here. We can see ABDN, we can see Chainlink, they have Boeing on here, Dell, they have Google, Hitachi, IBM, LG, right? Some of the world's largest companies are on here, right? They have Ubisoft, they have Standard Bank, they have WorldPay. And so this is very impressive for HBAR. And so if we keep looking at this here, we can see they're focusing on real world asset tokenization. They have sustainability. If we go ahead and take a look at the chart for sustainability for HBAR here, and so Hedera is very cautious about their carbon footprint. And so in comparison to these other networks here, we can see they are very small, right? I mean, so we're talking in comparison to Cardano, Polkadot, Ethereum, Tezos, and even if we're not looking at cryptocurrencies, here's Visa, right? I mean, they're 1,000 times less than that. And so they have a very small carbon footprint, which is very positive to see, right? There was big complaints about that with Bitcoin. And so with Hedera having a very small carbon footprint and they're producing a ton of transactions, this cryptocurrency could do very well, right? I mean, you look at it and you see a $6 billion market cap that looks like it's massive. However, with who they are partnering with right now and the funds that they are tokenizing, I think there's a ton of room for growth for Hedera moving forward, especially as BlackRock continues to tokenize more of these funds. If they're already working with Hedera, they may continue to work with Hedera, right? They're not going to go out and work with 10, 20 different cryptocurrencies. They found one that they like and they're going to stick with that. And so that's something to keep in mind, right? And so BlackRock's not the only one. As I mentioned, there's this other active wealth manager in the UK as well that is working with HBAR. And so this is very bullish for this cryptocurrency. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future content. And let me know underneath the video in the comment section what your thoughts are on the tokenization of the funds with BlackRock and then also ABDN. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.